would like to again welcome all the panelists. Andreas from Fraunhofer, Bauchan from Lidmacro, he's already here. Then we have Damian from RENA, and then I would like to specially welcome Puzan Biliojan from VDMA. Hello, everyone.
Hello, it's a
Okay.
pleasure to be here.
Hello,
Yeah,
pleasure to be
thanks.
here.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Puzan,
Hi.
for taking time. So, today is the end of the day for the TOPCon part, and the day one, Michael held a panel, but really rather stayed at a high level. So today, let's cover the topic more deeply. So the theme of this panel is what's the potential for TOPCon improvement? And what I really meant here is TOPCon in its original form as it is now. So meaning with contacts on both sides and of course single junction. So as we learned from the day one and today, TOPCon is certainly the cost leader, and efficiency levels announced by various manufacturers are really impressive. And there are also no major bottlenecks from the equipment side as well. They're all reached very quite high level of throughputs as Bauchan and Damian showed. And the innovations on materials from are also really complementing the TOPCon to reduce the cost as well as improve the performance and reliability, the way Anurag showed in his presentation. So the industry is quickly gearing up to even moving to the next generation BC architecture that is built on the TOPCon platform. So first, I would like to talk about the market positioning. Puzan, ITR PV considered to be the blueprint for many companies' planning, and we all know how difficult the forecast is. However, in your 2024 roadmap, you predicted TOPCon will have 49% share, but several in our conference, including I think Bauchan, he really skipped through the slides, but I think he showed it is somewhere around 70% market share. So where is this disconnect, or why is this disconnect?
Thank you very much. It's an extremely important question. As you mentioned, the forecasting has different starting points coming from the methodology of the forecast, going through the timing of the questionnaire. So it depends on when the study is done, when it's published, and how it is done. So we all know TOPCon's advancement has been extremely rapid. And if we compare forecasts from previous years, there are many technology developments that were also quite rapid. Our industry is very dynamic. Our researchers are doing a great job to move forward in their technologies. So taking the pool of contributors, we clearly see that even gigawatt scale contributors back then did not expect in December of 2023 to have such type of extreme rapid development. Of course, it was expected that's happening, but not the 70% that you are mentioning. In all cases, we also compared the results of all the contributors. We have global contributors to the report from R&D institutes, consultants, manufacturers, and they also believed that the actual median value would be around 50%. So it's the methodology that gave us this answer. We are continuing on this work, and we always cross-check our results with other consulting firms, in this case S&P Global, and we will be doing that as well for the upcoming year. But it's definitely an impressive development, and we are expecting that TOPCon will remain dominant in the upcoming years. Other factors that I would like to mention are the questionnaire. It's actually currently open. So if there are also companies willing to contribute for the upcoming year, it would be beneficial for everyone within the community. Of course, the results would be also acknowledged.
Okay. So the next question is to you, Andreas. So nearly everyone out of China, suppose, has at some point knocked at the doors, at your doors when thinking about the TopCon. Um, Invented in Australia, as you mentioned, implemented in Germany, and mass produced in China. So, how do you feel about the development of your own baby, the TopCon?
Yeah, thank you for this question. First, of course, I have to mention it's not only our baby presented. There has been lots of contributions from other research entities and companies, but it seems that Fraunhofer ISA did a good job, and we sort of baptized this baby to the name TopCon. So, and it's remarkable for us to see how this technology has been picked up by the industry and how fast the development was. And the baby has grown. It is a giant now, and
Yes,
this
indeed.
is and this is a result since the whole community was taking care on this baby as it was a baby. And it's as I said, impressive to see the developments regarding efficiency, cost reduction, and now it's mainstream, right? It's really striking to see which impact um, single innovations can have to uh, to give such a strong impact. And this innovation was at least co-promoted by Fraunhofer ISA. And still, we are looking forward to implement this technology further over the whole world. Especially, we're looking forward to also um, implement this technology in Europe. And for the future, we see a bright future for TopCon also as a part of a um, tandem device with TopCon bottom cells, TopCon based bottom cells, well suited for this technology.
Right. Okay, so Damian, after you sold your business in the largest market, you are offering solutions for all technologies and only catering your solutions out of China market. So how is the interest in TopCon compared to other technologies in non-China market? Because you have hands in almost every technology, and probably every technology needs wet chemical solutions. And I think, as I also heard, um, as we are moving higher and higher, the requirements for these chemical solutions are becoming even more stringent. So that means you have to develop a real personalized solution, maybe for the manufacturer and also uh, for the technology stream. So what's your take on TopCon?
So our impression is in the past years, there were a lot of interest by newcomers for TopCon and for heterojunction. But in the past month, it's more and more focused on TopCon. So the rest of the world is taking over the trend and focusing more and more on TopCon. Most of the project, not all of them, but most of the project. And almost everybody, also many of our customers, follow a very smart approach, even starting with PERC, because it's so robust and all the knowledge is there. So you start with a very robust process, robust knowledge, and then after a while switch to TopCon. And this is a roadmap of most of the customers out of China, out of Asia or surrounding of China. And yeah, this is a very smart approach. We can only acknowledge it and support it in the best way we can.
Okay, so Andreas, you were also consulted for the technology transformation or technology support, and if companies are coming from out of China region, so are you also recommending them to start with PERC, or TopCon is right now robust enough that someone can already start with TopCon?
Strongly depends on the partners that you have. Of course, as Damian said, starting with PERC is a very robust choice, and depending on the risk affinity of the company and the investor, some of them already start with TopCon, and here it is essential to have partners that well, can provide latest technologies like the partners that we cooperate with. And then I think is starting with TOPCon is an option, of course, higher risk, but also higher chances, and that needs to be balanced. At least in the end, it's an economic decision.
Okay, okay. So PERC is still playing some role here. So, okay, so Bauchan, so how is the international TOPCon market for you these days? You know, what are the challenges and what are the advantages you have?
Okay, thanks for Xiaowen. Yeah, actually, this is a good question. Actually, as you can see from our presentations, we are all for this production, TOPCon productions. We also contribute several of key technology and equipment for these mass productions point of view. So that's the reason for our tools, we have a very good reputation and a track record in the market, both in China mainland and internationally. You can see the presence of our tools. And that's the reason the advantage for our tool definitely is the market share is high and the production proven reliability, reputation. However, we also have a challenge in overseas that is like our main challenge is our tool price. You know, our company is also an innovation-driven companies. Hence, our tool price will be slightly higher because involving our R&D costs. So if you're really competing just the equipment initial investment. So this could be a little bit drawback for our team. However, we have a very experienced process team. So we definitely can put in a lot of adding values, not only at the beginning, the capital investment from the tool. So I think the investors should look at in the more comprehensive way, not only like just look at the initial equipment cost. Yeah.
So then how do you also see the IP issues for TOPCon in international market, in particular in US? So like Damian mentioned, there people are starting with PERC, but not just because they want to, you know, start with robust, but they were afraid of the patent infringements. And as you could see yesterday also, there was a news that, you know, TOPCon is right now is at the center of this patent infringement. So how do you see these IP related issues and what's your solution for these?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, for the IP issue, I understand. It's just now all of us sharing because this TOPCon structure technology is initially from Fraunhofer SE in 2013. So there are probably some of the patents around. However, I think this will be a case-by-case scenarios because for this round of TOPCon industrializations, yeah, besides the structure, actually from the production-wise, there are a lot of innovations inside as well. So if really come to that point of view, definitely if room into details, there could be rooms to discuss about it. Yeah, they are not exactly at that time because when we write patents earlier at that time, not really go to the production, maybe some details are different. Definitely this will also look at how comprehensive is this patents covers. Yeah, so that's the reason I feel like it's a case by case. Yeah.
Okay. So are your solutions, whatever the solutions you are offering, so do you have all this IP protected solutions?
At least we have done the US side we have engaged the lawyer also to check from the equipment and our technology side, because we are just an equipment supplier. So from the equipment and the equipment technology process wise, there are no patent infringement. Yeah. Customer depends if they want to make it to the final device, maybe we'll room into more detail from different aspect. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So
from the equipment wise, is no issue. Yeah. And the process wise.
yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
So then I think the next topic I want to discuss is efficiency, and then I would like to again start with you. So what do you think is the average cell efficiency for TOPCon in China? You know, we are hearing really very huge numbers. So what's your feel like average, and is there a difference between the tier 1 and the rest?
For me to answer.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, we all know, yeah, from the production line, if we see the measure efficiency is very high. Actually, all of us know that is not true efficiency. So, but if we derive that from the module power, if we assume there is no loss from cell to module, yeah, we from the module power derive that. Actually, the average cell efficiency could be about 25.2% for the current standards. Yeah. And if difference between DR1 and the rest, I think as you see, the TOPCon now is quite mature process, and every DR1 supplier, cell manufacturer probably also using the similar tool, similar technology. So I think the main difference could be due to for their operation management. Yeah, and also the cost difference could be due to also their scale of productions. Yeah, for the larger scale one, tier one, probably they have a relatively for the supply chain, they will have a lower cost. If they have a management doing very well in their operation, probably they can help them to reduce the cost as well. Yeah.
I think the next question is to the Western world, represented by Andreas, Damian, and Puzan. So, these numbers are still high compared to what we hear in the Western part of the world. So, how can we compete with such high numbers? So, anyone? Maybe Andreas? Andreas?
Yes, okay. I think innovation is of course one key to keep up, but of course it's impressive to see the developments that have been realized by Chinese industry and research entities. So well, clearly it's a strong competition, and the situation remains challenging. It's hard to compete. Well, there are chances market-wise. There are some chances in looking at where government support is high, like from the Inflation Reduction Act in the USA. If there's industry raising there, then that might give chances to somehow close the gap that we have. But of course, if there's no industry present from R&D institutes alone, it is very challenging to compete with R&D on such a high technology readiness level. So we need industry also outside of China to settle down, and this will be a key in our view to also make this possible in the rest of the world.
Okay. So, Puzan and Damian, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would completely agree with Andreas concerning innovation, but I would also like to add the historical advancements of European German equipment manufacturers in the global markets, which with the high level of experience have already shown that they are able to establish production lines all over the globe. The service is of course one of the key points, that you need good service, reliable engineering, and these are topics that are highlights for European equipment manufacturers, on top of the operational cost of manufacturing that is clearly studied and analyzed for the total cost of ownership of production lines. So I think the competition is absolutely very, very high, because the technology is advancing. It's very dynamic. The market situation is also very dynamic and challenging with overcapacities. So it's a challenge, but I think there are chances by focusing on the several points which I mentioned.
Okay, I try not to repeat what my speakers before mentioned, but yeah, well, maybe one point, yeah, innovation, and here more precisely, I believe we need to focus on reduction of running costs, reduction of chemistry, reduction of water power consumption, which is more costly in the Western world. So this is one very important topic, not just for RENA, for the whole industry, I believe. And the second thing for the Western world, or west of the world, out of China, is to form alliances, form partnerships start collaborating on as many levels as possible and form long-term relationships. And yeah, then by time, close the gap. And yeah, that's the challenge. And we are very, very happy to take it. And yeah, let's see where it takes us.
But
The market is big enough in the world. We will all take a part of the piece of the cake. Yeah, I'm very sure.
So there is also some talk that the measurement methods in China are really overstated. So how serious is this, and can this be fixed? Andreas, can you say something?
Yes, so that's a topic that we are frequently asked, and we then just encouraged to approach established calibrated labs also in Europe, or to do round robins of samples and cells and measure them in different institutes. There are very well established institutes in Germany also, not only CALAB that I presented, but also ISFH, where we've seen some results in the previous talks. And I think they all promote very stable and clear results, and it makes it easier to compare promoted results if we refer to well-certified measurements here. Yeah, that's a key point, of course. And I found this approach very interesting, brought up recently, to calculate the cell efficiency back from the stated module power. So that's also one approach where you can at least estimate average efficiencies in production lines.
So then talking about the developments, when it comes to the development of the TOPCon, LECO is somewhat really revolutionary. So this again brought the topic of IP onto the table. So it's a success for European, and then it is sold to a Korean company. Apparently, license could work here, but what Europe can learn from this? So what's your take on LECO's offtake? Puzant and Andreas, probably you are more involved with these topics, right?
It's a very particular question of a particular technology. I have to admit, I haven't followed it until the end. Of course, IP is an excuse me. IP is an important subject, and protection of IP is of high value. But also on the other side, we need to have reliable, efficient solar cells and modules. So, as mentioned also before, it has to be a case-by-case study, and it has to be taken seriously. And I think there are several advancements that are happening, similar to LECO, to be able to improve reliability and products. And I think we need to make sure that IP is being protected, but at the same time, innovation is being spread with other manufacturers by licensing schemes.
Yeah.
Yes, I fully agree with Puzan. So LECO has really been a very successful story, and it showed that innovation can be key, and that still European innovations can have significant impact in the world market. And what helps here for sharing this IP is if we have a strong culture of respecting existing IP in the community, and this would promote licensing options and promote the possibility to share these innovations within the community. And in the end, it would be a win-win situation for all. And of course, licensing is also part of Fraunhofer utilization strategy. So we are also open for licensing worldwide.
So talking about the development, so what's the next big technology upgrade in TOPCon after the LECO? Anyone can answer.
Maybe one interesting back-end process in this case would be edge passivation, not only for TOPCon, but also for other cell technologies. There are some efforts going on towards this topic by many institutes and companies working on it heavily, with already machinery being supplied. By that, there is a chance of increasing efficiencies depending on the cell size, depending on the cutting technology. So it's an exciting field. I think that's one of the topics, in addition to metallization developments, for sure. So I think it's a very broad spectrum of topics that have to be covered, but I would like to choose this one for now.
Okay. And Bochan, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think now the cutting loss, the cutting loss is getting more and more attention. Yeah, whether we are using the half cell technology or we are using the age passivation. Yeah, I think definitely this is one of the main area everyone is addressing now. Yeah, I think besides that, another tool probably also could be the real side improvement, the polythinning. I believe based on the current development, probably I believe just within maybe half a year to 1 year, you will see the deployment for the technologies. And the front side also a lot of interesting is going on due to the high bronze shear resistance. There are a lot of due to high shear resistance, you have to put the finger to be more narrow. So this also consistent with the zero bus bar. So probably zero bus bar also will be getting more and more attentions. To be integrated together with these front side optimizations and the pace optimizations. So that's the reason for the existing TOPCon production for the coming 1 to 2 years. Actually, there are still a lot of rooms for improvement, especially for the efficiency side. Yeah.
Okay. And Andreas, do you have anything to add on to that?
Yes, I think the most important topics were mentioned so far, like passivated edge technology that we brought into attention is gaining in significance. That what we also clearly see. A topic not mentioned fully yet is the silver consumption, where we need, if we look at the expected market increases, we need a solution to overcome silver limitations, availability limitations, and this will be a research topic on the long term, and that also might have impact on the cell structure or cell details on the cell process, because so far it's not seemed to be a straightforward replacement of just using, for example, copper instead of silver, and process similar with printing and firing. So we might see some innovations in this field where we replace silver by any other more abundant material. This might lead to some innovations. And it's,
for me also, this is really interesting that the rare thinning is really becoming more and more popular. So I think 4 or 5 companies have already presented it at our conference. So, and then people are also talking about having TOPCon on the passivated contact structure on the front. So, Huzan, so are these in your radar, this rare polythinning and applying passivated contacts onto the front? So they are also in your radar?
Yes, so the relevant topics that are coming up every year in research and development are being addressed in our international technology roadmap. How it is done, we have a steering committee of members from leading manufacturing companies. We get the discussion done, we see what type of interesting technologies are being developed. And of course, one of them is the thinning of polysilicon. This is absolutely something we would like to keep on tracking to see how it moves forward. But we also have other topics from the equipment segment that we are asking in our questionnaires to be able to analyze further. For sure, we will have to keep on tracking this development, as it has extremely high benefits from the electrical and optical side of device development.
So Bauchan and Damian, are you also offering such kind of tools which can facilitate this rare polythinning?
The wraparound removal tool, this is something which can be easily applied to such technologies. So this is more or less the knowledge and the tool design is ready to go. And yeah, I just want to mention the poly thinning or even application of finger on the rear side. This is something I follow very closely, because on the rear side, I guess you can learn do your homework, then at some point maybe transfer it to the front side, make it even more narrow, learn the alignment and everything. And then at some point, if it's all good to go, then the transition to IBC will be there. So coming back to your main question, I personally believe that from process and tool side, the transition from poly wrap around removal to poly thinning on the rear side can be more or less straightforward, be applied.
I think we are also running out of the time. So I think we discussed a little bit about the development. So I would like to quickly go to the closing remarks. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much TOPCon has the potential to improve, considering all cost, performance, and reliability? Again, so TOPCon in its original shape. And then how long the single junction TOPCon will dominate this sector with over 50% market share? I would like to have a reply from everyone.
Can I take the challenge?
Yeah, please,
I start.
please. Sure.
I personally believe I have a rule of thumb for PV. So each area lasts for about 10 years. So we had aluminum BSF, maybe even longer, but the serious industrialization took over more or less 10 years. PERC then again, more or less 10 years. And maybe we can follow this tradition, and TOPCon will also last for about 10 years. So it's another 5 to 8 years to go, let's say at least. And there is a lot of room for improvement. So at least a 4 to 5, somewhere in between this. There's still a lot room for developments, I believe.
Yes, I think as well, TOPCon will remain quite the dominant technology in the upcoming decade, as far as we know from the results. But I have to also mention that it includes also the back contact part. So based on the results, based on the results, if we do not consider that, actually this year we will be asking the different technologies of XBC and TBC and HBC. Probably I would also go for something between 7 to 8 years. So really looking forward to the advancements. I think it's happening quite fast, but we really have to take it to the next level as well, considering the back contact technologies as well.
Boshan?
Yeah. For me, probably a little bit conservative, because probably I'm in the mainland China. I saw the development of technology is so rapidly, is launching so fast. So I think how long is the lifetime for TOPCon? Oh, it purely depends on how fast the progress for the competing technologies. Yeah, especially like the BC technology, whether they can solve the bifacial issue and some other issues. Yeah, really can expand their applications. So for me, probably I feel like for the TOPCon, probably 3 to 5 years, because consider the PERC only about 8 years. So seems like the new technology, the lifetime getting shorter and shorter. So yeah, so I especially also consider so much of TOPCon capacity has been launched. I think everyone will really keep improving to be competitive for the existing launch TOPCons lines. So yeah, for this couple of reasons, probably I think probably 3 to 5 years. Yeah, then strongly depends on the competing technologies. Yeah, shall I?
Andreas?
Well, thanks. Hard to judge on such a question. Of course, what do you define as a TOPCon cell and structure? I think we will see some changes in the structure and some innovations coming up. But even if there's a switch to a back contact structure, we can be quite sure that it will contain TOPCon passivating contact parts as a major feature. And well, we'll see how long term it will take. And I agree fully with if there's a large several gigawatts of capacity installed for TOPCon, they will try to stay in the market as long as they can, and it depends on which market increases we expect. And the higher the dynamics is, the more places there for new technologies to take over. And on the long term, we hope that tandem devices will get into the market. And here, it's a little bit worth thinking of consistent paths to reach this stage of the technology. And if you switch from a both-sided contact cell, currently TOPCon, to a back contact cell, and then for the tandem device, you again need a both-sided bottom cell, this is not a very consistent path. So this is something that we need to think about also on the long term, which cell technology is suitable in tandem devices. And if we build up large capacities with this technology, is it consistent on the long term?
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you very much for your valuable insights. That was interesting that TOPCon would stay for very, very long, except for Bochan, who says, okay. Okay, thanks a lot. So I just would like to close the session today. So before that, I would like to once again thank our sponsors who are J Solar, Longi, Huasan, Jinko Solar, Trina Solar, Astro Energy, Tongwei, and ICO, Jetai, Ryzen, Cybrate, DKM, DMUGC, Hanzo Fast, Laplace, Solamet, Hayuvi, Rena, and Singulas. So, but you might have observed there was one thing I really deliberately avoided to ask questions in the panel or during the presentation is back contact, because a lot of companies are building, and then there is a lot of work going on, and there are already 4 major companies that are in serious high volume production. And very interestingly, all these companies are presenting tomorrow. So tomorrow is our day 4, which is reserved for the back contact technology, which is mostly called as XBC in China. And as I said in the beginning, either heterojunction or TOPCon can be platform for that. Excuse me. But tomorrow also we have a very great agenda. We have Radawan, who is giving the keynote. Then we have Longji, ICO, SPIC, and Maxion. More or less, the most of the commercially, most of the companies that are offering the back contact modules with in-house technology. And then we also have Hanzo Fast speaking from the material side, then DKM from the paste side, and Dr. Laser giving some insights of the processing side of back contact. And as you all know, lasers are very, very important in back contact processing. Then we also have ideal energy, ideal deposition technologies. And so then we will also have a panel. So tomorrow's session as well as the panel will be moderated by Michael, and he'll be accompanied with Radovan and Peter Fat, who is well known as CEO from RCT Solutions. So please do not forget, please come back again. And before that, I would like to briefly show you, we have our new report, which is a summary of the solar modules that were introduced at most of the leading solar trade shows in this year. We summarized all this information in this report. So this was launched a few weeks ago. You can download it for free. And then we also have a few more reports which you can also download for free. So trackers and our solar module analysis for the H1. Then we also have a market survey on floating, and then a brief review on bifacial system technologies. So yeah, keep reading TaiyangNews and keep educating yourself with our reports. Thank you very, very much for joining us, and really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a nice evening, day, or very, for late people, good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Chào
bye.
and thanks to
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.